Hello and welcome back. I am Juglord Zero and I have another faction speculation video for you. This time I'm doing a Scum faction, but I didn't want to just call it Scum like they did in X-Wing. I wanted this to be a named faction. So after doing some research, I found the Shadow Collective. Looking at them, I thought they would be a perfect name for the faction. Some of the bigger criminal organizations were part of this group. The Hutts and Black Sun, just to name a couple. Then the Solo movie came out and introduced the Crimson Dawn, which was also headed by Maul. I wasn't sure which name to use, so I'm listing both as options. For units in this faction, I decided to mix canon and legends, as information in canon was kind of sparse for either group. Alright, starting off, we've got commanders. We've got Maul, obvious choice. He helped form both groups, as far as we know. Savage Opress is Maul's brother and a skilled combatant. Zeton Maj is the head of the Black Sun and the representative to the Shadow Collective, and he looks like he could be a heavy hitter on the battlefield, which sounds interesting. Next, we have Pre Vizsla, leader of the Death Watch and also one of the founders of the Shadow Collective. As a Mandalorian, he would be deadly on the battlefield, or could be deadly on the battlefield. Next up, we have Shizor. This one I took from Legends. In Legends, he was the leader of the Black Sun, and I think he could be a good commander on the battlefield as well. Next, we've got core units. We have the options I put up here are Gamorrean warriors, Weequay pirates, and Klatooinian soldiers. All three options are good starting points for core units for this faction. The nice thing about this group, this faction, is that you could do so many different types of units with this, with all the species and in these groups. You could even do a group like a Falleen, an all Falleen unit, which would be awesome. The possibilities would be plenty for different core units in this game from this faction. Next, we have Special Forces. The first one up is the Mistral Shadow Guard, who were an elite group of warriors who were trained in close quarters combat. Because they were trained in close quarters combat, it would give them an interesting feel on the battlefield. Be able to get up close and take out other core units with relative ease. Hopefully, that's what I would hope for. Then the next one is the Night Sisters. Very fascinating group of people here. So many different, so many options with the Night Sisters. Their flavor comes more from their Legends lore than the canon lore. I prefer their Legends lore, as you know, they've had 20 plus years of time to set this lore up. So if you want to learn more about the Night Sisters, definitely check out their Legends lore. It's definitely recommended. Finally, for Special Forces, we have the Death Watch. They were a group of Mandalorians who survived the Civil War, the Mandalorian Civil War, and then regrouped to form the Death Watch. After they were banished to, I can't remember the planet. They were banished to a planet, and their soldiers started dying off. So they regrouped and became stronger again, which is awesome. And next up, we have support units. The Droideka Oppressor was a model of Droideka that never saw use in the Clone Wars. This model was later used by smugglers, pirates, and other criminal organizations as guards. The PTL-05 launch platform, which I could not find a picture of, is a stationary proton torpedo launcher. I feel this would be very similar to the 1.4 FD laser cannon that was recently announced for the Rebellion. Basically, you place it and it can't move. It would be a turret-based system, so it could shoot at anything really, and just shoot torpedoes, which would be kind of cool. It could cause a lot of damage. Would be long range, definitely be long range, but we'll see. Like I said, this is all speculation. Next up, we have heavy units. The heavy units I've found were the first one is the Infantry Support Platform. This was used during the Clone Wars by the Republic, and was later used by various groups afterwards. It was also called the Swamp Speeder during the Clone Wars. Now, this could essentially go under the Galactic Republic as well. Give it a pilot option, just like the ATST does. That way, you could make it feel um, like an option for both the Galactic Republic or this faction, which would be an interesting idea on it. Next up, we have the Basilisk War Droid. It was designed by the Basiliskans, and it's a semi-sentient combat droid. So basically, it does its own thing, commanded by leaders, but they were primarily used by the Mandalorians. Next up, we have the Missile Attack Launcher, which is a mobile missile launcher platform, basically a tank with a bunch of missile launchers. Not bad. Could be interesting to have on the battlefield. Uh, Definitely long range. Uh, Definitely causing a lot of damage if it hits. Next up, we got the Operatives. This one, just three basic ones I chose. IG-88, who's worked with the Shadow Collective and who worked with the Shadow Collective. Then Aura Singh, who also worked with the Shadow Collective, and then Guri. Guri is also from the Legends universe, and she is the bodyguard of Prince Xizor, or Xizor, um, who, if not a commander, would be an excellent operative. In fact, I think she could be really deadly on the battlefield. Um, so yeah, these are my what I think would be good options in speculating for a new faction, a criminal organization faction. If you have any other suggestions, please put them in the comments. I have, doing research for these, found other units for other factions that I've talked about in the past. So I'm planning on doing another video soon. I don't know how soon, but I will be doing another video on potential units for factions. But until then, if you liked the video, please hit that thumbs up button, or subscribe if you like. If you want to know more, be notified when I post more videos. Everything is very much appreciated. Until next time, have a great day.